Hey guys, so somebody asked me how I made the little space tugs that I've been using. They're pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I just figured I'd bang out a short video on how I do them, in case anybody else is interested. So first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with a probe core. I'm going to take a medium probe core, and then we're going to want some batteries so that this thing doesn't go dead. So we're going to get the medium battery as well because it just stacks nicely on there, right? And then we're going to go over here to fuel tanks, and we're going to get out a monopropellant, and we're going to take the medium monopropellant tanks, and I'm gonna stack 4 of them on here. 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. So that's the body of our probe right there, basically. So then we're going to go to structures, and we're going to grab the adapter, the medium adapter, and we're going to stick that on one end, right? And then we're going to go to couplers, and we're going to grab the small docking port, and we're going to put that on the small docking port end, and the medium, the Clampetron Senior, and flip this over, pop that on the other end. So that gives us the medium and the small docking ports that we can use to hook up to whatever and go about our business. Then we're going to need to control this thing. So we're going to go down here and we're going to grab, there it is, the RCS controllers, right? And we're going to go symmetry mode 4, and we're going to put them not centered. We're going to put them 45 degrees off center. And the reason for that, I find that gives me better control than having them centered like this. I get a lot of rolling and stuff like that. So we're going to put a set there, and we're going to put a second set up here at the other end. And we're going to keep them back from the edge a little bit. There we go. Right, so then we got that. Now, of course, we got to have lights. We got to be able to see where we're going. So we're going to grab some lights. Now these I can center, and we're going to flip them to be oriented in the direction we want them to be oriented, you know, facing where we're going. And then put another set up here. And basically so we can see what we're doing when we're trying to line up and dock and what have you. Now, we're also going to need a bit of solar power. So we're going to grab the smalls. And I am going to put 4 of them on here. We're going to keep with the symmetry thing. And we're going to kind of keep them in the middle-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. There's that. Now, the probe core comes with an antenna, but we're going to add, just because I think it looks right to have it, we're going to add an antenna, and we're going to do the symmetry thing just to kind of make it look right. So there it is. That is my tugs. Take a look here. And so we got the RCL01 pod. We've got 4 sets of panels. We got a battery. We've got 4 of the fuel tanks. We've got the adapter plate. We got the 2 couplers. We got all of our RCS. And we got our antennas. All right, so there it is. So now let's just, excuse me. Let's just go ahead and put this up enough into space to where we can play with it. So let's go ahead and grab a medium stacked coupler, And then I think we're just going to put an engine on it. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. And just for stability's sake, because we're just going straight up, guys, I just want to put this on there in order to show you guys how this thing performs in space. Right now, we don't have to worry about aerodynamics, so I'm not going to worry about putting a cover on this. We're just going to send her on up. Let's get rid of whatever's sitting out there on launch pad 1. Let's launch this puppy. One thing I will give them credit for is there is definitely a lot faster changeover with our come on, there we go, with our going out to the launch pad than what it used to be in KSP1. Alright, so here we go. So let's go ahead and send this puppy up, see if it explodes on launch. And I'm just going to let this thing go straight up, so I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright guys, so there we go. We are out of fuel. We're going to go ahead and pop this off. We are not in orbit. We're on a parabolic, just to get us up into space so we can play with this thing. So now, on the way up, because I know a lot of people are curious about frame rates and things like that. On the way up, if I was looking down towards Kerbin, I was getting between 6 and 14 frames a second. If I was looking away from Kerbin, if I was looking just straight up, I was getting about 30. Now that we're up here, I'm getting somewhere in the somewhere in the neighborhood of about 60 frames per second. On a 2070 Super and a Ryzen 9. So, and 64 gigs of RAM. So if somebody's interested. But anyway, here we go. Here's the tug. It's up in space. Let's go ahead and turn on RCS. And we'll see if it's actually working. There have been times where I've had some problems with it not working. With all of the RCS jets just not wanting to work. But it looks like it's working. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got here. Face this the right direction. So this is the J, K, L, and I keys. So L takes us to the right, K takes us to the left, or J takes us to the left, and then K and I will take us up and down. If we back over to the QWERTY keys, we can spin it with Q and E, and the WASD keys, we can turn it left, right, up and down. So I like this tug because it's got a lot of maneuverability. It's got no delta V to speak of really, and it's not fast. But if you can get your pieces up to the station and then latch on with one or two of these, you can move it wherever you want to pretty simply, pretty easily. So that's what I use them for. I use them to move my stuff around my stations, and depending upon which one I want to hook up to, I'll pick an end and I'll do control from here, and that's the way I drive it. So there it is, guys. Just a real quick down and dirty video on what it is that I did. All right. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.